Hi, Butandor here, and I'm going to talk about the Leo full moon on February 1st, 2026. And I have a few notes here that I wanted to talk about, but first let me pull up the chart. Oh, wait, I got to make sure I do this right. All right, cool. Thanks for your patience. So, this full moon is in Leo at 13 degrees, as you can see over here. See if I can make this bigger. Hang on a second. Just kind of still learning how to do YouTube. Okay. So for what I'm doing, I'm not going to be looking at houses or the rising signs. My focus is on the moon, and the videos that I'm making this year are going to be on the moon. So Leo full moon, here we go. It's interesting to me that the last video I made, I talked about the Capricorn new moon. The new moon was in its detriment in Capricorn. And then today, I'm going to be talking about the Leo full moon, which is opposing the sun in Aquarius, and the sun is in detriment in Aquarius, which I definitely want to talk about later. So when there is a full moon, the energy gets chaotic. I think most people can agree on that, even people that maybe aren't into astrology. That's why the word lunatic actually comes from, well, I speak French, so I would say la lune, which is the moon. The moon is amazing. I mean, that's why I'm doing this video. And when you have a full moon, the sun and the moon are opposed from each other, and it creates a tension, and it can create a chaotic energy. Kind of depends. But it's definitely something that I always try to notice, and I can kind of feel the energy before, like I'm starting to feel it now. And for me, it's a time that I would want to make room in my schedule, because you kind of never know what's going to happen. When you have an opposition, like if I'm looking at a chart, I do horary astrology, and if I'm looking at a chart and there's an opposition, definitely to the moon, but just even in general, then that would mean that something that somebody wanted or somebody's asking might not work out the way that they wanted. And I think it's kind of like the time in the month when, we work hard and we've planted all these seeds from the new moon and we're doing our thing. And then it's kind of like Earth School comes in. I love this term, Earth School. I got it from Byron Katie. And it's just like some things are out of our control, and we're here to learn. We're sort of in the life curriculum, and things don't always go the way that we want them to. And things happen that we didn't expect sometimes too. And to me, that's really representative of a full moon. And this full moon in particular, with the moon being in Leo's sign is the sun. Leo wants to shine. And the sun, though, is in Aquarius, and it's not shining the way that it would in Leo. In fact, it's shining to quite the opposite. So we say that a planet is in detriment. And I think sometimes that can be a scary term, and I understand why. But I've been thinking a lot about Aquarius lately, and I wanted to share my notes on that. I've been thinking a lot about how, well, the special thing about Leo is that we want to be seen, and Leo wants to be special and it wants to be seen. And I love the sign of Leo because it's kind of like you get permission. Oh, hang on. See, there we go. That was like a full moon thing. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, so as I was saying, Leo is special and it wants to be seen. And this is an energy that's flipped. So often I think myself and many other humans that I know think often, I want someone to see me. I want to be seen. And who knows if we ever really are really ever seen by other people, maybe in glimpses, maybe in moments, but I think we have to flip it in Aquarius. Instead of I want them to see me, it has to be flipped to I want me to see them. And Aquarius, this is really the beautiful thing about Aquarius, I think, is that it's about community. And, maybe we really don't ever get totally seen by somebody else, maybe in moments. And that's kind of a sad thing. And, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. And so I do feel that Saturnian energy. And it's sort of the lesson learned, I think, is that we may not ever really be seen, but we can take comfort in community. And somehow community reflects back to us the values or the things that we want in our life. And I think that is the spirit of Aquarius, which is a sign that I do appreciate a lot. So, although it can be a little unusual and quirky, it's okay. All right. So, I want to point out the stellium here. The last chart I looked at also had a stellium. So, a lot of stelliums going on. This one is interesting because there is a Pluto-Mars conjunction. And it's under the sun's beams, and we've got Venus and Mercury as well over here. And Pluto-Mars conjunction, this is one I've thought about a lot. And I feel like the Pluto-Mars shows us that whatever you did to find success in your life before, like something that worked for you, Pluto-Mars says, okay, well, the next thing you want to achieve, don't do it the way you did it that way. You have to do it differently now. Like if you want to exceed and get to the next level of where you want to go in your life, you can't use your old strategies. Like you have to use your new strategies. And you got to take some kind of crazy action, even maybe. Excuse me. You don't even know. You got to change it up. You got to like F it up. And being under the sun's beams, it's not going to really seem too clear. I mean, I think once the sun moves a little bit further out into Aquarius, maybe in sort of the latter part, like maybe when the sun moves to here, it'll be more clear maybe what the path is that you need to do to change things up. Like let me give you an example. Like maybe you got your job because you worked really hard in school and then you got a degree and then you got a job. Maybe you want to take things to the next level. You're trying to get a new job. And so you're thinking about going back to school. Well, this says that always not going to work. You're not going to have to go back to school for this one. You got to do something else. You got to start a podcast. You got to start networking. You got to, go to the place where you want to work and demand that you work there. I'm just sort of making things up here, but I'm trying to give an idea of what this energy is. So we got that going on. And there is another note that I wanted to mention, and then I'm going to be done. And one aspect that I think with this opposition, the sun moon opposition here, that might be a hard lesson, but that one that we might learn. It kind of depends on where it is in your chart, but that, and I've been thinking about this one, is that meaning, like if you look at like the highest level of like what Aquarius stands for, meaning is really some of the most, and I would maybe argue the most meaningful things that we do are when we are creating in community. So like think about things that you've done in your life that have been like so much fun and they meant so much to you. It could have been acting in a play, being in a band, being a part of a dance troupe, being in a group just where you go and you talk with maybe other people on a certain subject. Anything that you do where you're creating, not consuming, okay, like not going out to a movie with a group of people, but like creating in a community of people is the most meaningful way that you can spend your time. And I think that is kind of the lesson learned here. And that's what I wanted to say. I do just want to bring up another note just because I've noticed it and I like it, is Venus in Aquarius. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this or not, but I've been getting really beautiful Venus in Aquarius vibes, sciencey vibes, being near water, fresh air, things like that. So Venus is going to be moving away, which will be kind of nice. And well, I'm sorry, like I don't know if I'm making much sense. Sometimes I think in my head when I'm looking at a chart and then I don't know that I'm explaining it exactly, but Venus is going to be moving away from the moon, and I think we'll also be able to just, it won't be in that opposition anymore. And I hope that my wish is for anyone that watches this is that you can see those beautiful Venus and Aquarius moments. They've just been really popping for me. So I hope that you find those too. And thank you for watching. Bye now.